If you've ever stared at your plant, waiting, watching, hoping for even the tiniest leaf to peek out, welcome to the club. The Brazilian lucky wood plant is resilient, stubborn, and sometimes painfully slow in putting out new shoots. But don't lose hope. This video, inspired by our viewers' comments, unpacks how long to wait before seeing the leaves and what you can do to speed things up. Is it dead or just sleeping? Before you panic, let's check whether your bare trunk is alive. If the bark feels thick, fresh and firm, your plant is alive, it's just dormant. If the bark feels soft, dry or shriveled, it might unfortunately be dead. But don't jump to conclusions too fast. Let's break down the growth timeline so you know exactly what to expect. Brazilian lucky wood plant growth expectation. Patience is the name of the game when growing the Brazilian lucky wood plant. It doesn't rush for anyone. Instead of sprouting quickly, it takes its time to build strong roots before finally showing off new leaves. Here's the typical growth timeline for a Brazilian lucky wood plant stem cutting. Weeks 1 to 12. Your plant is working hard beneath the soil, developing a strong root system before focusing on visible growth. Months 3 to 6. Tiny buds might start to appear, but don't worry if you don't see anything yet. It's still settling in. 6 months to 1 year. Shoots finally start to emerge, depending on factors like temperature, humidity, and proper care. Beyond a year, in rare cases, the trunk can stay dormant for over a year if the environment isn't quite right. By carefully examining the cutting, you can find clarity on whether it's thriving or struggling. But before diving into that, let's explore why growth varies from one Brazilian lucky wood plant to another. Why does growth vary? Every Brazilian lucky wood plant grows at its own pace. Some use the nutrients in the stem cuttings to take off quickly, while others prefer to take their sweet time. Here's why growth can vary. Light. Bright, indirect light helps stimulate growth. Water. Keep it moist but never waterlogged. Temperature and humidity. Warm, humid conditions encourage sprouting. Stem cutting quality. A healthy cutting has a better chance of thriving. The healthier the cutting, the better the chances of a steady start. Is it truly dormant or already gone? In some cases, your Brazilian lucky wood plant cutting might not make it. Waiting and hoping for growth isn't helpful if the stem is already beyond saving. So let's do a closer inspection to avoid the waiting game and spot the warning signs early. Step 1. Examine the rims. Check the top and bottom edges of the cutting. These should remain intact, firm and sealed. If they're peeling, cracking or flaking off, it's a red flag. Step 2. Inspect the bark. The outer layer should feel hard and woody, a sign of healthy dormancy. But if the bark looks hollow, sunken or shriveled, the stem is losing moisture rapidly and might not recover. Step 3. Test for softness. Gently press the trunk. If it feels mushy or unusually soft, it's likely decomposing. A healthy stem cutting should remain firm and solid to the touch. Step 4. Check for color changes. A fresh, viable cutting will have rich brown or green hues. If the entire stem turns black or grey, it's a sign of decay. Final verdict. If the stem is firm, intact and fresh-looking, it's just dormant. Keep waiting. If the bark is peeling, shriveled or hollow, it's struggling and may not recover. If it's mushy, blackened or soft, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye. The worst-case scenario is a completely dried out or rotting cutting, but catching these signs early can save time and help you decide whether to keep waiting or start fresh. But wait, here is an additional tip. Before you give up on that cutting, take a chance. It might surprise you. Even seemingly lifeless stems can bounce back. Plant it in well-draining soil and let nature do its work. Be patient. If you're worried about slow growth, just remember, this plant is built for resilience. It might look like nothing's happening, but beneath the surface, it's preparing for the right moment to spring to life. Okay? If the bark is fresh and firm, it's still alive, just waiting for the perfect conditions to grow. Do this, give it water, light, warmth and patience, and one day you'll wake up to brand new leaves unfolding. So, how are your Brazilian lucky wood plant doing? Share your experience in the comments below. And if you're still waiting, don't worry, you're not alone. Subscribe to gardenbambooplants.com for more plant growing insights.